Cohen here, Cohen on Content and all things digital, and I got fun. I got Ann White from PRN.
Hello.
And I know that's Premier Retail Networks. And
yeah,
you know, a lot of people still think of PRN as the Walmart network. And I know that you guys are pretty much dominating the retail world right now. Am I wrong?
that is our specialty. I would say that we dominate for TV wall in the electronics departments, because we are in Costco, Sam's, BJ's, Fred Meyer Fries. So yeah, we kind of own that category, which is really interesting.
Pretty cool.
And then we're also in a lot of grocery with our checkout platform. So Super Value stores, all their banners, well, not all their banners, but quite a few of their banners. You might be familiar with Albertsons down in the LA area, or Jewel Osco in the Midwest,
All right,
Acme on the East Coast.
You're writing a whole magazine for all of these. We have people that are tuning in, that are watching right now, that are deploying in retail. I mean, it's certainly not going into the chains you guys are in, but they're coming into retail and they're wondering, how can we be in as an advertiser-supported network? How do we do that? Do we call in agencies and say, well, we're now in 12 Seiko convenience stores? What do you have for them, and how can they emulate, or at least try to work out a successful way of following your footsteps?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because I do think that...
Of course, a good question. I asked.
You are good. I do think we've cracked the code. We've had a long time to figure it out. PRN's been in business for quite a long time, and definitely an ad sales model is a stable business, you know, compared to a lot of the things we've seen come and go over the past couple of years. There's a couple different ways to go about it. I mean, shameless plug, they can call us. We do offer ad sales services. We're unbundled. It's not a complete network solution. It's whatever you guys need specifically for yourself.
Right? I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's an advantage, because what advertisers and media buyers are looking for is distribution footprint. And so we take advantage of that. So if you've got 100 stores in a couple different DMAs, then if you're working with us, you become part of 4,000 stores across 75% of the country.
And you probably don't know this, but my second network deployment back in 1983 was in retail. I put card reader activated coupon dispensers in 77 Bell's grocery stores in Western New York. We used co-op advertising. And is that something that you guys can use in today's retail environment?
The tricky part about retail and doing an ad-based model in retail is that you cannot touch the merchant's money. So what we're doing is we're doing a pure media play. We're going after television dollars. We're talking to advertisers and media buyers about taking a little piece of their television budget and moving it into place-based media in a retail environment, because at least for the networks that we have, the platforms we have at checkout, at TV wall, there's considerable dwell time. There's the sight, sound, and motion of full video HD TV quality on the TV wall. So it's very similar from a creative standpoint, on the surface anyway. You know, it's deeper than that, because you want to be relevant with your messaging. But as far as the medium is concerned, it's very familiar, and it's easier for an advertiser or media buyer to say, oh, okay, I actually think I understand how to take this and put it over there and why it would be effective. But then if you're looking at a digital signage solution where it's very product oriented, it's a completely different creative. So that's a way that we look at it, and the way that we work with the advertisers and the media buyers.
How do you handle measurement? What do you do for measurement?
We work with all of the top research companies. We actually have an internal research department as well, and are a big part of the DPAA research committee in trying to develop the standards for the industry, in particular so that advertisers can more easily purchase advertising on any digital place-based network. So we use the Nielsen's, we use the GSK, and what we are measuring is engagement. So we're not just talking about shoppers, we're talking about who's actually looking at the screen, and not only who's looking, who's actually engaging with the screen, how long are they engaging with the screen, what is their brand recall, and
here it is, recall again.
Yeah, and our brand recall is more than twice what traditional television is, and that's because of the relevance at that point, that moment in time, their mindset. They're more receptive to that type of advertising. And so then brand recall is huge, and then intent to purchase. Yeah, how do they feel about what they just saw, and does it change their mind about a product or a brand?
How do you handle the conversation of, well, we want to buy reach. We don't want to buy recall, we want to buy reach. Does anybody even still bring that up?
Not really. It's interesting because even though what I said before about having a national footprint is very important to an advertiser and a media buyer, they're still kind of cherry picking the DMAs they want. So you need targetability as well. And sometimes that's just targetability of the message. It's a slightly different message. Sometimes it's literally, I just want these particular, DMAs or whatever. So it's, you have to build a network and a model that accommodates that. And
you've given us a lot of information, and I appreciate that. Is there anything specific that you would like the world to know about PRN? Do you hear me say the world? You know why? Because it's on the internet.
That's right.
And these guys reach so many people that they can say, go look it up if you want it, and get it on the internet. What is it that you guys want to put out? Anything?
Well, I think, you already mentioned that you didn't realize that our services are unbundled. So. Right. I think when PRN started, as a lot of companies in this industry, started with technology as the foundation, because really having solid technology is important to the distribution of the media, the proof of performance, and all of that. But out of necessity, we had to build a consumer experience team. And that means, it means what is in those screens, how it's engaging the people. So we have an amazing creative services, content and creative team.
You know that you're going to get emails now of people that want to start up a network in the retail environment, and they're putting together a business plan, and they're thinking, ooh, if I can put PRN on there as our advertising sales partner, ooh boy, the VC, VC, not Viet Cong, venture capitalists, are going to want to throw money at us. Boy, I can't wait to see how many of those emails you get.
I'm waiting. Right, bring them on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll keep this going from CETW and get some more interviews out for you pretty soon. Thanks. Well, Cohen here, Cohen on Content and all things digital with Brian Ardinger from Nanonation. Now wait a minute. Chief Marketing Officer, Nanonation. I got a couple things to say about that. In my day, you had a president, a bunch of vice presidents. Today, everybody's a chief.
That's right.
I like that. Brian, besides being the CMO, and by the way, there's nobody in our industry who doesn't know who Nanonation is. I can say it the other way. Everybody in the industry knows who Nanonation is. I'm gonna give you a twofer. Brian, when he wasn't looking, I think he was out of the room, they made him president of the Digital Screen Media Association. What were you thinking?
Well, it's a great honor, actually. It's a great honor.
Oh yeah, but look at the work.
That's true. This is true. I have multiple hats at work, and I'll have multiple hats in the industry, but very glad to be part of it.
Well, cool. All right, look, we all know who you are and what you do. So what they want to know is what's new.
What's new? There's a lot of things that's new. I mean, I think the whole movement from social, mobile, local, the integration of these technologies, I think, is new. And I think the real thing is it's no longer a siloed business. Brands aren't looking at it from, what digital signage am I going to have, and what kiosks am I going to have, and what mobile. It's like, how do I integrate these solutions to really engage customers in the various different ways that they reach me? So, from a Nanonation perspective, that's why we have a software platform that looks at a lot of these different solutions. Everything from social, mobile, kiosks. Anytime a customer wants to engage, we can make that happen.
Let me grab you on this. You know my networks. We're in doctors' offices and doctors' waiting rooms. All right. And there's a lot of conversation about, you're in the doctor's office. This is a highly personal, this is not something you're talking about around town. And yet, we're at a point now where advertisers, underwriters, can find patients sitting in my doctor's waiting room on their smartphone with these mobile applications. Is that cool? What are they doing with it?
Well, I mean, I think every advertiser's got to be a little bit careful about how much they engage their customer. So the customer has got to buy into that. There's got to be a reason for the customer to want to interact. And if you provide that reason, I think that's where the benefits are going to be.
Okay, and we do this thing, again, our advertisers. They run the spot, and then there's a texting thing at the end of it that says, text for more information.
Right.
And then they get sometimes a video, sometimes a coupon. Is that what we're talking about? So that's that opt-in aspect.
You've got to give the reason for the customer to want to engage, and you can't just spam them with information. I mean, customers are bombarded with enough advertising and information. You've got to give them a reason to step up and say, yes, I want to participate in that conversation.
Okay. And Nanonation has those kinds of applications. Is that the right word?
Sure.
Applications.
Yeah, we
have those kinds of applications so that they can have that interactivity.
Right, and we work with a lot of different partners. I mean, there's no one particular player out here that can do all the ecosystem at once. So we work with, hardware players as far as the enclosures. We work with mobile partners as far as aggregation of the texting. So there's a lot of different players in the thing. What we try to do is provide a core platform so that our customers, like a Harley Davidson and Louis Vuitton, et cetera, can really manage those multiple different touch points.
I'm going to ask you this. It's come up over the emails, and I don't have a good answer. Once you select, I say you, I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
Once I, as a network operator, selects a software provider, then we invest in a media player that supports that software provider. But yet the media players don't support all software providers.
No.
So I'm kind of locked into you. Once you're the guy, is there any way that when somebody else comes up with an application, I can say to you, hey, I like what that guy's got, should I have that too?
Well, one of the things that we differentiate ourselves on, we're not giving you a hardware platform to go off of. We run on Dell, we run on Apple, we run on a lot of different proprietary players out there.
That's important information he's telling you now.
So, from that perspective, we do try to give you the opportunity to, and from our perspective, have a software platform that's available and to take advantage of some of these new things. I mean, we've been around the business about 10 or 11 years, and a lot of things have changed in the technology.
Sure.
And you've got to keep up with that to be able to be relevant in today's marketplace.
All right. All of this kind of stuff, is it easy to find and easy to read? I've been getting a lot of that. I went to this guy's website, and hell, I can't find it. All it is one big pitch.
Yeah.
Is it easy for a technology guy at a company to read what you guys do and understand it, or is it all one big pitch?
Well, I think there's a lot of one big pitches out there. There's a lot of companies. We used to joke that you could walk around a trade show, and if you could put up a screen, you could call yourself a digital signage company. Luckily, that's changing a little bit, I think, in the marketplace. I think what you want to look for is real-world case studies, real-world examples that a company can bring forward, and because of the complexity, I think that really helps wean out the leaders in the space to really understand how to do this stuff.
Somebody go in there, if they can't find what they want, they can email you.
Definitely. Or I'm on Twitter at Ardinger, and I'd be happy to help.
I'm on Twitter too. I still don't know what the hell to do with it. Brian, thank you. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
Nanonation, www.nanonation.net. There it is. See you later.